This weekend, organizers expect more than 2,500 protests in cities and towns, large and small, for the second No Kings Day. Tomorrow's rallies are supposed to be even bigger than the ones we saw in June, when a staggering 5 million Americans protested the Trump administration and its policies. Joining me now is Ezra Levin, co-executive director of Indivisible, which is organizing No Kings Day, which is no small feat. My goodness. I'm curious how big you're expecting these protests to be, Ezra. We've said they're going to be bigger. How much bigger than what we saw in June across this country?
Well, Alex, some historical context. The single largest day of protest in the first Trump term was this incredible display of peaceful people power and families belong together. This was against family separation policy back in 2018. That was about 750 events. It was great. It was impactful. We were part of it. The events that we're seeing on Saturday, we are expecting more than 2,600 events. We're not doubling, we're not tripling, we're nearly quadrupling the single largest protest from the first Trump term, exceeding even what we saw in June, as you noted. And look, this is going to be in big cities like Chicago and New York and San Francisco and DC. But as you saw on that map, it's in the smallest towns in America. It's in Jenner, California, population 122. It's in Homer, Alaska. We're in Montana and North Dakota, red states, blue states, purple states, rural areas, suburban areas, deep Trump country. There are indivisible groups, and there are No Kings protests that are coming together. So it's going to be a sight to see. It's going to be historic.
So talk about the concerns, the biggest ones that you're hearing from people participating in the kinds of changes they want to see.
Yeah, well, everybody's watching these Republican attacks right now. They're smearing these rallies because the Republicans in this regime are scared of peaceful protest. And honestly, they should fear peaceful protest. Every authoritarian regime succeeds by spreading fear, by making the populace feel that they are alone and that the regime is all powerful. And so the single greatest threat to their grip on power is us exercising our First Amendment rights. So I know people are watching at these smears. They're watching these attacks. They're watching this saber rattling. And also I know that people aren't letting this regime steal their joy or their power. They are showing up in their funny costumes, with their fun signs, with their moms and grandmas, with their kids, with their dogs. This is going to be a joyful display of people power, and it's the exact thing that we need to protect our First Amendment rights.
You know that Speaker Mike Johnson has called the protests anti-American. Here's what he said just this morning. We'll play it and you can react on the other side.
As the shutdown drags on, it's becoming increasingly clear that this spectacle is the reason the Democrats have refused to reopen the government. The organizer of tomorrow's event issued an open threat to Democrats in Washington, and this is what he said, quote, "The cavalry is coming in on October 18th, and they're either going to be celebrating you or they're going to be calling for new leadership in the Democrat Party." Now, I know who heard that. Chuck Schumer heard it. Hakeem Jeffries heard it. And their actions and their votes show that they are taking that as an order.
Have you talked with Democratic leadership, had any conversations with them, coordinated with them in any way with these No Kings marches?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are coordinating with them on the shutdown. We are trying to get Mike Johnson and the other Republicans to stop shutting down the government. Frankly, I think Johnson and the other Republicans, they're in a really tough spot. 57% of MAGA Republicans support the Democratic demand to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's MAGA Republicans. There's even greater support among rank and file Republicans and even greater support among independents. So you can see Mike Johnson there trying to figure out, how can I blame somebody else other than myself for this? And he's somewhat confused that there's a party out there, the Democratic Party, that is listening to the American public and refusing to go along with this Republican hostage taking we're seeing right now. So I would almost feel sorry for him if he wasn't doing a ton of damage to healthcare prices and a ton of damage to the American Republic. I am celebrating the Democrats who are standing up right now. We're right behind them.
We will be following tomorrow all the action. Ezra Levin, thank you so much.